Hello and welcome to all the Autobots and Decepticons out there. I'm Joe here with me, my co-host Dan.
Hello and greetings.
And we're back with the last bit of the Battle of Autobot City, or Optimus versus the Decepticons. And this is a pretty good fight scene. At the start, the city's in smoke and ruins. Like, honestly, there's just about nothing left. But who should arrive to the rescue? The Dinobots! Oh, wait, I mean Optimus. I'm just kidding. But actually, Optimus brought his very best troops with him to the rescue.
The Dinobots may not be very bright, but they're strong.
Yeah. They're basically his answer to Devastator. While the Dinobots keep Devastator busy and actually do a really good job, except for the pterodactyl is useless, but who cares about that? The big cheese of Cybertron declares Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost, stating in no uncertain terms he's ready for the kill.
He's fed up with this entire thing, so he's like, screw that, I'm taking him down.
The sad thing is he does not actually have the will to destroy Megatron, as we'll soon see. Cue the greatest theme of the 80s as Optimus transforms into probably one of the ultimate badass transformations. Takes out a few Decepticons. They start firing. Honestly, seeing the effect of these blasters on everyone else, all but insta-killing them, and Optimus basically just shrugging it off like he's Devastator, is pretty darn impressive to see. Dude's awesome in a fight. Let's just be honest.
There's a reason why he's one of the most popular Transformers.
Yeah. We then get the best exchange ever between Optimus and Megatron, where Optimus states in a very grave tone a line, honestly, none of the Bayformer movies have ever been able to put together on this level. One shall stand, one shall fall. Which sounds like something Charles Heston would have said. And Megatron says, then why throw your life away so quickly and so uselessly? Or something to that effect. Megatron... Okay, I'm actually going to say this. Optimus is sounding like an older cinematic character, like Charles Heston, as said, from 10 Commandments. While Megatron's trying to sound like he's one of today's quippy one-liner guys. You can tell which one's better. And the funny thing is, Optimus beats him at the one-liner as well. That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron. At which point, Megatron gets thieves because he didn't get the last word and goes, no! I'll destroy you with my bare hands if I have to. Yeah. Meanwhile, Hot Rod decides that he needs to lend his support to Prime. Now, cue the biggest controversy in Transformers history. How Optimus' death is entirely Optimus' fault, but fans need a scapegoat, so Hot Rod. When I say fans, I mean the Optimus fans. The thing is, Optimus was botching this fight from the very start. In truth, Megatron shouldn't even stand a chance against him. It's a one-shot, one-hit KO thing. Optimus Prime is so over-muscled and so overpowerful. Someone like Megatron, he can clear out any time. The problem is that he lacks the willpower to do it. He lacks the resolve. And Megatron has always used that to weasel out of danger, or in this case, to win the fight. Optimus is strong physically, but lacks strength of will. And at times also brains. Let's be frank. And I know this is going to cost me quite a bit. I mean, we have, 13 whole subs? Boy. I really don't want to risk it. I'm joking here. I'm not trying to be patronizing. But this fight goes so badly for Optimus so quickly that it is kind of shocking how poorly he does.
He had opportunities to kill Megatron.
The trouble is, Megatron actually fights like a champ. He's very resourceful in this fight against a foe who's much larger, much stronger, and is powered by the matrix of leadership. In all honesty, Megatron should not even be able to last 5 seconds. And yet, he's winning this fight and curb stomping his foe almost, except for the fact that he's suffering massive damage while doing so. A few blows are exchanged, and Megatron chucks a spike into Optimus's side. Optimus takes it to the side, has to fight off Megatron for a few minutes in order to pull the spike out, then gets lightsabered to the same side, aggravating his wound, and nearly loses his optics to Megatron. As said, Optimus is being completely dominated in this fight. Just because he might not have the resolve to finish off Megatron doesn't mean Megatron has the same problem. Kup, of course, cheers for his hero and tells Optimus, "Come on, do it now!" Optimus walks very slowly to pick up his blaster, picks it up, and Megatron then, noticing a blaster to one side that's, well, hidden, Megatron proceeds to beg, as said, and Optimus monologues. This is the first time I ever saw a superhero or the good guy monologue as a kid. And I remember seeing it and being kind of struck by that and going, why is Optimus Prime monologuing? Now, I did know him to an extent, but I was like, I don't understand. As an adult looking at this, it's like, Optimus, you know what Megatron's like, yet you're monologuing. This is the only time you'll ever see the hero monologue about how, victory will soon be his and his enemies defeated, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, it's actually embarrassing to see to an extent.
People blame Hot Rod, but there was a huge opportunity.
And the trouble is, had Hot Rod not jumped into the way, I would argue Megatron would not have been injured. He would have actually carried on with the victory and won and slaughtered everyone. And the reason is, let's actually look at the scene. Optimus is bragging, Megatron's reaching for the blaster. Optimus never had any intention of firing. He was monologuing. Megatron picks up blaster, shoots Optimus, kills Optimus. Then from there, Decepticons rally, Autobots fall back, Decepticons then slaughter the survivors, including Danny, Spike's son. The funny thing is, Hot Rod interfering when he did got Megatron cocky and Megatron to approach Optimus when Optimus had fallen. And then Optimus basically snaps his spinal cord with one big blow, which he should have delivered some time ago, but didn't. And Megatron then calls off the attack because he's wounded. So arguably, Hot Rod saved all the Autobots and the entire universe, as always. So the thing is, this shouldn't be considered a moment where Hot Rod's a pain or is stupid, but where Optimus is stupid. But the problem is, you got Optimus who's got this armor around him as far as the fans are concerned. He's immune to criticism. And this is something that I've always struggled with, both as an Optimus fan and a Hot Rod fan. And I know there's someone who's going to say, no, you're not an Optimus fan. No, I do love the character. It's just when he descends into monologuing and being stupid, let's call it for what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. If he's going to be stupid about this, then, no offense, we condemn, for example, supervillains in superhero fiction or Megatron for being stupid. We should hold Optimus to the same standard intellectually. So if he's going to monologue, I say he deserves to fall to Megatron. But you know who doesn't deserve to fall? His men. Optimus's Autobots deserve to survive. So, and his Autobots are telling him, fire! Fire! Optimus doesn't actually want to pull the trigger. And this is where psychologically I do want to analyze Optimus. He spent so long locked into this conflict. I wonder if he deep down does want to kill Megatron. Maybe he still hopes to redeem Megatron, or maybe he even feels a kinship with Megatron. The two have been locked in battle since time immemorial. A time when, honestly, there's only maybe 3 Cybertronians who still remember. Optimus's girlfriend, Megatron, and Optimus. They're the only ones who remember the era before the Great War. And nobody else remembers it personally. They know it through the history books, but they don't remember it. So, if he kills off Megatron, he loses that last connection to his own past. At least that's my theory. That there's a sense of kinship. The trouble is, does Megatron feel it at all? No. So, in this regard, he's valuing kinship and even, to an extent, his own links to the past directly as well. And I think, I don't know, like, he's just not a soldier at his core. He is, but he isn't. In a way, maybe Optimus would have worked better as a frontline soldier rather than the commander. And the trouble is, he just doesn't have it in him to kill Megatron. He never did.
And then there's when Megatron is holding Hot Rod, Megatron starts to fire at Optimus. That is a situation where a military man or a cop, they don't put down their guns in such a scenario. They have to fire.
Yeah. The trouble is, though, he doesn't want to risk Hot Rod. Now, this gets into the theory of the Matrix, and I do wonder if, to an extent, because there's, I think, a prequel comic where Optimus had a moment of foresight about Hot Rod, that there was a great destiny ahead of Hot Rod. And I wonder if maybe there's an inkling of the greatness that lies ahead in him that maybe also paralyzes Optimus's hand. But this was definitely not Hot Rod's fault. Hot Rod almost ended up being a victim of Optimus's foolishness. And Cup, before Hot Rod's even interfering, Cup's the one just telling Optimus, do it! Come on! What are you waiting for? And you have Optimus having no intention of doing it. So that, in a way, Optimus is kind of paralyzed and caught. He's caught between his duty to actually finish off Megatron and his unwillingness to. So he basically freezes, I would argue. And this gives Megatron the window of opportunity. Sadly, I know people will not agree, but the best thing that happened to the Autobots in this battle was the loss of Optimus. Because they lost a leader who's not willing to take the fight to the enemy. Who's not willing to finish Megatron off. In exchange for leaders who are willing. Who are determined to take down the enemy. That being said, yes, Optimus does deliver that major blow to Megatron. Yes, he does snap his spinal cord with that big fall as well. But Megatron could still recover from his injuries. And they're not able to know exactly how badly wounded Megatron is. The truth is they don't know enough. They just know Megatron's in terrible pain and that Optimus turned the tide. Optimus gets all the credit for the victory, which he does richly deserve. And yeah, I know someone's going to point out, but Megatron was dying. Yeah, in transit. It's okay. It's the trip that and the wounds that are killing him. It's not the battle itself, so to speak. Because he's gone too long without medical attention, so his injuries aggravate themselves and all but get hit the equivalent of infected, and Starscream decides, chuck him. With the funny thing being that it had, say, Starscream decided that a few Decepticons should self-sacrifice for Megatron. Ironically, Megatron probably would have made it and probably would have survived. But truth is, the Decepticons never had any intention of sparing Megatron. Megatron brought it on himself because he always prized ruthlessness and treachery above everything else. Because treachery keeps the wits sharp, as Megatron from Beast Wars is prone to saying.
Thus is the state of evil.
They always turn on themselves. They devour their own. That is the nature of evil. Optimus did not get devoured by his own, but as I said, fell to his own folly. So, yeah, that's our analysis of this battle, which is a great one of the best battles in animated history. And yeah, we'll analyze the after effects of the battle in greater length in the next video. So do feel free to smash that like and that subscribe button as though you were Megatron taking down Ironhide.